One of those would be our pairing sessions. So for those who don't know, when we have pairing sessions in Asian efficiency, it's more of like learning from each other. For example, like Brooks is going to have a pairing session with me or with Marie or even with a majority of the team to teach us something that he knows in Entreport, so that we can work on our own without always bugging him. So, this allows a team to learn from each other. And at the same time, it fosters camaraderie. And eventually, you really trust that, we are all here to help each other out. Like, we're not just, we want the information or the knowledge to be stuck with us. No, we want to share it out. And just that action of sharing the knowledge and making time to share that knowledge would really foster trust.
This is something that we learned from working with a Scrum coach. So even though we've been doing Scrum for, I want to say maybe 6, 7, 8 years almost, there's always ways to do it better, right? And one of the challenges that we had was a lot of people were working in isolation. Because when you have people all over the world working at different times, at different time zones, it's really easy to work in isolation because you can just work on your own thing and then report back and say, hey, this is done, let's move on to the next thing. But there wasn't a lot of collaboration. And one of the things that we learned to address this was by introducing pairing sessions. And this is the whole idea of, and I think it's kind of born from the software world, which Scrum is as well. But it's the whole idea of when two coders kind of work together, working and writing code, they come up with new ideas and ways to solve problems and challenges. And they call that pairing. And we basically do the same thing. You and I will sit down and say, hey, let's work on this task together. Even though we both already know how to do it, every time I do a pairing session with someone or you do with someone, you always learn like a new shortcut or something. Or there's a better or faster way of doing something. Or you start to see, hey, why are you doing it that way? That's actually slow. Like you should do it this way. There's just so many benefits to it. And I was a little bit resistant in the beginning because it's easy to assume that it's kind of like slow, right? Because now you're taking up 2 people's time to get one task done, even though both people already know how to do something. But the long game of it is that the more people collaborate, the better they get along, the more trust they build. And like I talked about earlier, trust is the ultimate accelerator for collaboration. So definitely introduce pairing sessions.